Alright folks, welcome to another beer review. Feeling a little bit more tipsy than I usually would on a beer review, but had a lovely few hours with Mr. Mersey Beers and Blue Nose Beer Reviews in Wigan, as before they went to watch Wigan and Birmingham away. Unfortunately, circumstances meant that I couldn't really join them to watch the football and then, you know, have a couple of drinks post-match. But I managed to have a few hours with two people who I really fucking appreciate. And yeah, a few days into the new year, and yeah, very good experience. And Wigan is, there's some good places to drink in Wigan, and yeah, some wonderful halves were had. And so that brought me on to select this beer for review, and this is CacaoDemon 2 Hell on Earth. And I'm just going to say right off the bat, when the first CacaoDemon beer came out, that was my, was it 2023? Beer of the Year 2023. It was just everything I want from a silly, mind you, it's not too silly, but just, I don't know, just it was what I wanted from like a contemporary Imperial Stout. And we all know that Azvex brew that style wonderfully. So yeah, so this is the sequel, 12% ABV. Again, they've got the Doom-like artwork there with the CacaoDemons, I think is the proper name for them. And once again, collaborating with Table Chocolate. I've yet to actually buy any chocolate from Table, but the beers that they've been involved in, the like cacao chocolate inclusion has been phenomenal. And yeah, so CacaoDemon 1 was an amazing beer. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Clocking in at 12% ABV. It's described as a chocolate and caramel Imperial Stout. But yeah, the artwork is awesome. And of course, we are getting a new Doom game. Is it this year or next year? I really need to get a PS5 or an Xbox, because I'm currently playing on an Xbox One. But yeah, is it Xbox Series X? But yeah, I love Doom. The soundtrack's great. You know, having nods to the likes of the Stranglers and Judas Priest. I can't lie though, the original Doom games, I never grew up playing them. And really my appreciation for the Doom franchise came when Doom 3 came out, just because of how like revolutionary it was for the Xbox 360. Oh really? And that's a very specific reference. But then, of course, you go back and play like the original Doom games, and they were, you know, pioneering in of themselves with id Software. And then you've got like the Wolfenstein games, and it's really good to see that in the modern age, like the contemporary Doom and Wolfenstein franchises, aside from that Wolfenstein game where it was the two daughters, just because it was a really badly made game. Yeah, it's good to see that they've like transferred nicely to contemporary consoles. Not that I'm like the biggest sort of like hardcore gamer, although I have been putting a lot of hours in between Black Ops 6 and Fallout 76. Both, well, going to Doom, because it's now a Bethesda property, if I remember correctly. Is it? I don't know, it might not be actually. But yeah, anyway, very excited to crack this open. Had the intention of having this in between Christmas and New Year, but that didn't happen. And yeah, like I said, the original was my favourite beer of the year 2023. We've got the brand appropriate glassware. I just need Azvex merch. I said track because I'm wearing a track sweatshirt. But yeah, probably not in the best condition to be reviewing an Imperial Stout of this calibre. But it is what it is, and what it is a really beautiful looking beer, and it looks very, very nice in the brand appropriate glassware. Azvex's Imperial Stouts very rarely fail to deliver, so will this live up to the expectations of the original CacaoDemon? Do we have those specific flavour notes to hand? No. But I'm sure this will be a damn good time. And yeah, another collaboration with Table Chocolate, who I think every beer I've had that Table have been involved in has been pretty damn good. So yeah, let's see what we get. Pretty much jet black in the glass. We've hit oil, folks. We've hit oil. No Country for Old Men. No, that's the wrong film. That's a Coen Brothers film. There Will Be Blood. There we go. That's what it all... These sorts of stouts always remind me of There Will Be Blood and Daniel Day-Lewis. What an actor, by the way. Anyway, should we just shut the fuck up and drink the beer? Cheers. I'm slightly pissed. In fact, let's give it a sniff first, you stupid twat. When I was went on the bus to meet up with Blue Nose and Mersey Beers, obviously I paused my headphones when I got on the bus, and I tend to only play my music again once I'm settled. And there was a group of Skelmersdale youths sat at the back of the bus, and one of them, with a massive amount of glee, started to shout, "Oh look, it's Rapunzel, it's Rapunzel," which really fucking annoyed me at first, but then I realised that's actually a really original take and a really original insult. That isn't Boris Johnson, Ed Sheeran, or Jimmy Savile. So I've got to appreciate that for a teenager. That's a really clever insult, and it's actually quite sophisticated with its literary reference. Anyway, cheers, folks. You all take care. That was a weird thing to say. Now, my palate today is probably not the best to be reviewing a beer like this, considering I've been drinking. I was drinking when I was out with Mersey Beers and Blue Nose Beer Reviews. Came back because I thought the Everton game was at 5 o'clock. Got in after 3 o'clock and then realised, oh no, the game was at 3 o'clock, so I missed the game. I'm glad I did, because we got beat 1-0 by Bournemouth. And from what I can gather, it was just a classic Sean Dyche, just uninspired, couldn't give a flying fuck because he's still getting paid performance. So yeah, we got beat 1-0 by Bournemouth. So that was my post session evening ruined, mainly because of me, because I didn't get me timings right. But I'd have just been really fucked off anyway watching Everton at the moment, because They're just fucking awful to watch. They really, really are. And we'll get nowhere with Sean Dyche as manager. As much as he sort of like saved us from relegation, it's just like, what the fuck have you done in the last 18 months? Oh, 0-0 against... I don't know, it's like, as a fan base, Evertonians seem to fucking celebrate 0-0 draws as if we've won the fucking Champions League. I'm sick and tired of going, oh, I'll settle for a draw today. It's like, shut the fuck up. Have better expectations. Do you know what I mean? Never settle for less. But, yeah, anyway, back to the beer. I don't know if people at Azvex support Everton or Liverpool, or if they're, you know, not interested in football. But it is what it is. It's just really fucking frustrating to be an Evertonian at the moment. Especially when we should be, you know, celebrating and exciting because we're going to a new stadium, which is going to be the best football stadium in Merseyside. Technically, it's the third Everton stadium in Liverpool. But... not to criticise Liverpool too much, because Mo Salah is a fucking beast. And if I was involved in any decision making in Liverpool at the football club, I'd be like, I would throw all the money I could to Mo Salah. I would fucking sell Trent Alexander-Armstrong to Real Madrid, because he clearly doesn't give a shit about Liverpool as a football club. But Mo Salah, even as a very bitter Evertonian, Mo Salah is a fucking phenomenal football player, and you need to do what you can, sell your soul if you need to keep him at the club, because God forbid we give the Saudis any more sporting prowess than they already have, because they're destroying any sport that they touch. But it is what it is, and I'm not one to give Liverpool any ideas or praise, but Mo Salah is fucking phenomenal, and I think you should do whatever you should do to keep him at the football club, because he's just an amazing football player. But anyway, let's get back to the beer. This is really, really good. It's silky smooth. There's hardly any, if any, booziness at all. There's a very, especially towards the back end, when you've had a good dark chocolate, that's the flavour that I'm getting on the back end. It's big, it's chewy, it's velvety. I've got a feeling in my heart of hearts that the first CacaoDemon was a little bit better than this. But, do you know what? Wafer biscuits, blue riband, Tunnocks wafer biscuits as well. The caramel character of this is lovely. And yeah, it's just ridiculously drinkable. Very, very biscuity towards the back end. Oily, it's sticky. And it's a phenomenal beer. But I can't help but feel, from how much I gushed about the original CacaoDemon, how that beer was just like marginally better than this. But this, for me, as an Imperial Stout with the flavours that have been added, it's like pretty much a 10 out of 10. It's just exactly what I want with a silly yet well brewed Imperial Stout. And table chocolate, my God, they're adding so much to this beer. I mean, we know that Azvex brew amazing imperial stouts, but this collaboration, long may it continue. I'd love for them to rebrew the original CacaoDemon. I hope this becomes a seasonal release. And I hope that they, I don't know if, I mean, from a financial aspect, it wouldn't make any sense to release the original, this version, and when they brew CacaoDemon 3, I mean, Doom 3D, you could like play it that way. Could you imagine the vertical if they like kept the first two recipes the same and they brewed the latest incarnation? See, if I was in the brewing industry, I'd be too idealistic. I would cost so much money. I would throw so much money into the brews. And yeah, it is what it is. This is fucking amazing. It's so silky smooth, so drinkable, full-bodied, it's oily, it's sticky, it's so chocolatey. There's so many varieties of chocolate coming through on the taste. There's a very distinct chocolate covered wafer character to it, which I'm a big fan of. As someone who thinks blue ribbons are one of the most underrated biscuits of all time, so when I get that flavour or idea in my head when drinking a beer of a blue riband, I'm a very happy chappy. I really, really am. But then again, I'm getting a big Tunnocks caramel bar character as well. I really, really am. It's just like the mastery of the chocolatiers and inclusion of the chocolate or cacao. I'm not sure what the actual like inclusion is. I'd imagine it's like very specifically and carefully sourced like cacao nibs that have been used in this. But do you know what? It's one of those beers where you can't just give all the praise to Azvex. You've got to give a really big shout out to Table Chocolate, because I'm yet to have a beer that Table Chocolate have been involved in that has been even like a generic, boring experience. And the crazy thing is, I've never had any products directly from Table Chocolate, and I've got such a big appreciation from them, specifically with the multiple collaborations with Azvex. So yeah, if you want really good high quality chocolate, go check out Table Chocolate. Really, I feel like I have to, as a duty, have to. I feel like I have to, as a duty, pick up some chocolate from them. I really, really do, because this is just phenomenal. As a chocolate stout, it's just beautiful. It really, really is. But, and I can't put any sort of finger on it, I remember being a little bit more blown away by the first CacaoDemon from Azvex. That was beautiful. That was genuinely beautiful. And do you know what? This isn't a bad sequel, really. It's still a phenomenal, borderline 10 out of 10 Imperial Stout to my tastes. But yeah, lovely stuff indeed. And if you're a Doom fan, then you've probably already bought it anyway. But yeah, I can't fault it. I really can't fault it. This was fantastic. I'm slightly inebriated. I've had a day of drinking. I've come home, made some food, and had a few more drinks, then reviewed this. And it's still packing a punch. Yeah. Pack a punch. Call of Duty. But, yeah. The connection is Game Pass. You get to play a lot of Doom games, and they're very much worth your time. Just pay like the 9 to 14 quid a month, and you've got great games. You really have. The Doom franchise is fantastic. The music throughout, even in the early days to the modern incarnation of Doom, soundtrack is fucking phenomenal. If you reference Down in the Sewer by the Stranglers, you're gonna get my appreciation. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, id Software, what a fucking powerhouse, and they still are. And I think they're actually owned by Bethesda. So, yeah. Just get a fucking Game Pass, even for a couple of months, and you're going to get some really good games. You're going to get a lot, and I mean a lot, of shit indie games which get the praise that they don't deserve. Because a lot of indie games are fucking wank. But, yeah. Anyway. If you're a fan of Doom, get this beer. Just because it's a Doom-themed beer. And it's an amazing beer nonetheless. Azvex, smashing it once again. And, yeah. Looking forward to the new Doom game. Even though my console cannot play that game. So I'll have to update. And who knows, maybe one day I'll do gaming streams. Just so I can get super chats and donations. And because let's face it, I've been making content since around 2006 and I've made hardly any money off it. So I think you fuckers owe me donations. Links to my PayPal in the description of every video. I'm joking. Please never feel you need to support this toxic, cancerous YouTube channel. Anyway, I'm gonna go because a girl I'm interested in has messaged me back, and I'm sad. I'm 35 years old, and I'll probably die alone. Bye.